What's up, everyone? It's King of Ruckus, and before I get into the video, if you haven't seen the Man of Steel trailer, if you're one of the 3 people on Earth who hasn't seen it yet, go check that thing out now. Man, that trailer music, man. I think the track is called Ignition. The actual soundtrack isn't for sale until the 11th. That trailer music is ridiculous, man. Just the whole trailer. Like I was already looking forward to that film, but now it's like I think I'm gonna end up getting The Last of Us the next day, because there's probably gonna be a midnight release for The Last of Us, and I may have gotten that, but this is coming out the same day, the 14th. So I think I'm gonna be sitting in a movie theater somewhere watching this movie. So State of Decay released this week. I was looking forward to that game for a while. It released on Wednesday, and I downloaded the demo. I was playing it, and while I was playing it, I was in a chat with a couple of other friends who were playing it. We were talking about, that game, The Last of Us. I think we talked about Man of Steel, a couple other things, and I liked the demo, but knowing that Last of Us was coming out next week, I'm like, maybe I should wait. Maybe I should hold off on getting this, because I'm not, once Last of Us comes out, I'm going to be playing that almost exclusively. But the more I played the demo, the more I saw potential in it, and I'm like, you know what, I want to support these people now. I'll go ahead and get the game now and, just switch between that and The Last of Us when that comes out. And I'm glad I did, because I'm really enjoying this game. It's one of my favorite games this year. There's a lot of little systems at play, and most of them seem to work really well. For instance, there's a trust system. If you shoot or otherwise harm one of your co-survivors by mistake, they'll trust you less, obviously. You can also wig them out a bit if you're doing erratic driving, which, to me, I can understand the realism behind it, but at the same time, in certain situations, if there's a zombie in the road, that fucker's getting mowed down. That's pretty much it.
Look, we're all scared.
There's also the influence system. The more you do for your team, the more options you'll have access to, and the more you'll be able to pull out of the supply catch. For example, with one of my main characters, I did a lot of exploring. I brought back a lot of supplies, so I have like, I want to say like 300 or 400 influence at that point. So, each item in the catch is assigned a number of influence. You've got stuff like medicine or whatever that's maybe 1 or 5. You've got high-profile weapons that could be anywhere from 50 to 75. You've got backpacks. All that stuff is in there, and everything is assigned a certain amount of influence. So with her, I could take out whatever. But with another character that I just may have gotten, like if I find a survivor, they'll only be able to take out so much until I go out with that character and do things for the group. I can't say I'm 100% positive on this, but I feel like whenever you move a car, or whenever you do certain things in the world, it stays like that, no matter what. For example, I drove across a bridge, and there were some cars set up as a roadblock, and I kind of went around one, but when I was going around it, I nudged it, so it turned a certain way. And a couple hours later, not in-game hours, like real-time hours, I drove by that spot again later, and the car was the exact same way. And another time, I went to go explore in a house. Some zombies came in, and instead of trying to fight them like I had done before with other characters, I got the hell out of there. I went back to that location later, and my progress with regards to saving was exactly the same. So it pretty much saved. And that's awesome, man. This is pretty much the zombie game I think I've always wanted to play ever since The Walking Dead. Ever since watching that show and like imagining what that game would be like in video game form. The Telltale game was awesome. Don't get me wrong on that. I'm not trying to say that, I like this game necessarily better than that one. If you were to combine this game with the Telltale game, you'd have the ultimate Walking Dead experience. Well, this game with a bit more polish, because it does have some polish issues, but, it is a budget title. It was delayed a couple of times. And what we got now is still really good. This studio is actually working on another zombie game, which will have multiplayer in it. So I'm thinking of this as kind of like a preview for that upcoming game. I'm really looking forward to what they can do with more resources and more time. The Xbox One will be easier to develop for. Microsoft would be really dumb to not sign these guys up, not lock them down exclusively. Even with that, not only lock them down, but don't lock them down and then give them a pittance, man. Like, provide them with what they need to take this game, take this series to the next level. When you play this game, you see so much potential, man. Like I said, it's got all these little systems in play that work. I still don't fully understand everything, like, because I've been kind of just going around killing zombies, and I've been really taking my time exploring, and, you know, every time I interact with a different group of survivors, I'm trying to bring them supplies to increase morale and hopefully get some of them to come back with me to home base. So I've been really taking my time. There's a lot of stuff I don't think I've seen yet. Matter of fact, like the first couple of hours, I want to say that over the first 5 hours, I was in one area, and I really thought that one area was it. I really thought, okay, the whole game's going to take place here, and I had no complaints about that because it was a relatively big area. And then I zoomed the map back, and I'm like, holy shit, man, there's all this stuff that I haven't even gone to yet. It's just crazy, man. For 20 bucks, I'm more than happy. If you have an Xbox 360, I strongly recommend trying out this demo, especially if you're a fan of the zombie genre, especially The Walking Dead. If you like that show, if you like those comics, try this game. And if you like the game, I would recommend just buying it. 1,600 Microsoft points, but there's a lot to do. It's a bit of a more challenging game. It's like if you die with the character, that's it. I know that firsthand. The first character you get, I call him the main character, or at least I used to, because I kind of think of him as the main character. Whenever you start a game with one character, that's the main character. But in this game, the more I play it, the more I realize there's no main character, because when you die, that's it. With him, I wish I had been recording, man, because it was pretty cool, man. When he died off, it's because I was searching for stuff, and I hit left bumper to search faster. And the first time there was a loud noise, and he's like, oh, I'm glad I didn't bring any zombies. And I thought that I had killed all the zombies in the area. But the thing is, when you're searching and you hold left bumper and it makes a loud noise, it won't matter. Like, even if you see no zombies, you could be out in the open, no zombies around you at all. But if you do that quick search and a loud noise happens and you see the words "that was loud" pop up on screen, zombies are going to come out of nowhere. And they're going to come in droves. And you most likely will not survive unless you've got a way to stop them from coming at you. If you're out in the open, you're going to have to battle. Have your weapon ready. Have your gun ready. Make sure it's loaded, because if it's not loaded, it will take you a little while to load that shit. And if they get on you, that's really it. You get to a point to where you have to mash the A button to kind of get out of final death. You may be able to do that twice if you're lucky. 2 or 3 times, but I've died 3 times. The first time was from the main character, like I said before. Like, I've died 3 times. When he died, he literally got torn apart. I saw him get torn apart, and I got the achievement for getting torn apart. So it was pretty crazy. And the second time I died, one of my characters, I had just gotten him, and another character who became like she was the first person I rescued, and I used her a lot. I was really building her up. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't really know it. So whenever you do certain skills, you build your character up. Like, it'll say it leveled up real quick in the bottom right of the screen. And I took her, and she was getting upset, supposedly, which didn't make sense to me, because she was pretty much a badass taking care of everyone else. But she was getting upset, so I took her out to do some zombie hunting. It's like a mission you do. You do that. The character you're using tells the other character to chill out or not to be so worried, or whatever they're going through. Like, there's different dialogue for different variations of that mission. So I took her out. We fought one horde, and then another one immediately showed up, and my character literally got his back broken, like from the side. It looked cool, you know. I was mad that I died, but it looked pretty cool, man. That's a good way to go out, because there's different types of zombies. It's not just the regular walkers. There's various special type zombies too, and this one was I think a feral one. and he like he did some strange shit. It just looked. I was like, damn, yeah, that was awesome, but at the same time, I lost the character. The third time, I just kind of walked off a cliff. That's what happened. I mean, there's no big story surrounding it. I took a step when I shouldn't have, and I'm like, I literally said, fuck, and just watched my character die in a ravine. It was pretty messed up. But yeah, this is a good game. You know, it's challenging because, like I said, it's not just the type of game where you just kind of run through with invincibility, or like, you know, like you're infallible. It's not like that. Like, at any moment you could be done, and that's really something that I think it kind of brings the survival horror back in a way. Like, the game isn't scary, but that aspect of it adds a sense of urgency to it, and that's something that I think recent zombie games have started to lose sight of. So I'm glad to see it return. And this is a game that I don't think people should miss, especially because they're looking at The Last of Us. And I'm looking at that game too. I'm gonna get that game next week. But if you're like, oh, I don't want to play this because I'll play Last of Us last week. No, don't make that mistake. I almost made that mistake. Try the demo. If you like it, support these people and buy it. But this video is going on long enough. Thanks a lot for watching. I don't know when I'll be uploading again. I'd like to say I'll upload soon, but I really don't know. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.